Hi, everybody. Dave Walker here, founder of the BEST2SMB Institute. And this is our second year of the BEST2SMB Awards. And last year, I think probably our most exciting category was our Hall of Fame and the induction of three companies into our first ever BEST2SMB Hall of Fame. And we're back here to do it again. Our 35-member Leaders League has listen to all the tapes and believe that the nominees that they have selected for our Hall of Fame this year are really the extraordinary brands that have impacted small businesses for years and years and years. And I don't think there's one that you could say has done any more than Constant Contact. So I'm pleased to welcome Mike Redd from Constant Contact. Welcome, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
And I think it's not like anybody in this audience doesn't know who Constant Contact is, but I would love from you kind of a brief history, but more importantly, an emphasis on what you guys have really evolved into over the course of the last 5 years, especially.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Constant Contact, best known for, email marketing, our small business customers, our nonprofit customers, getting their message out in the world. So, that's where we start. That's where those roots began of bringing that email marketing technology, which at the time, 20 plus years ago, was a little bit out of reach for some small businesses, right? So bringing what at the time enterprises were using to communicate with their audiences to the small business, to your favorite restaurant, to your favorite, shop around the corner, to your favorite nonprofit in your neighborhood, right? And so that's where we started. We've really evolved quite a bit on that journey, Dave, to becoming much more than email marketing, right? So over, the past year, we've launched a new website building tool, complete with an online store, which I'm sure we'll get into, really pertinent to the situation going on right now, where small businesses, whether they wanted to or not, had to figure out how to engage online with their audiences and how to sell online with their audiences, rounding that out with not just the email tools, but all the tools to engage with their audience on social media, whether that's through your social posting across, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn or on Twitter, or paying for ads in those places where you can target your audience or target even more broadly with Google Ads. So there's a lot that the Constant Contact platform has evolved into, whether it's email, you can sell online, you can build a website, heck, you can even design a logo within the tool with a really cool, intuitive drag and drop logo creator, and then rounding that out with our great marketing advisor help, which is probably something that was really the seed for how we began, really that coaching with a personal touch, I think is how Gail Goodman at the time coined it, the original CEO of Constant Contact, to what we're doing now with our marketing advisor program, where you can call us, you can talk to a real live human, get marketing advice, certainly technical help, but if you need tips on, well, how do I think about Cyber Monday for my bakery, right? Give us a call and we'll chat with you about that. And if you want even more help, you can even have Constant Contact do some of your marketing for you. So those are all services that we've been brought to market within the past 2 years, but we've really continued to evolve them, especially during the pandemic.
So I imagine that a lot of those product additions were really based on customer demand. I want to kind of understand from your perspective, the customer demand that started to take shape in January and February. What were you guys seeing from your perspective with so many small business customers? What did you see taking shape?
Yeah, absolutely. So, within our customer base, they have known and hopefully love, us every day for the ability to reach out, to their audience. So, we have a lot of very active customers. They got even more active, obviously, and more the March, April timeframe when the pandemic really hit in the U.S. Really, sending a lot of email, right? So using that as a key channel, as all of us as recipients of those emails to know, what are the hours of this restaurant who's closing down? Can they actually deliver for me now, right? To a lot of folks realizing they need to stay in touch with their audience a bit better, and they might not have had those tools to use them. So a lot of new customers coming to us looking for help during that period. The evolution of that platform, exactly as you alluded to, was really following what our customers were asking us for, right? So even before the pandemic, wanting to have their website and their email and their social marketing all in one place, just vastly simplifying their lives with all the data and the reporting to understand how those things are all working together, as opposed to going, 3, 4, 5 different places for all that, which could be, really tricky and time consuming for a small business. So it was just a natural evolution, and I'd say a bit of a firecracker to further accelerate what was already happening in small businesses looking for these things in one place and looking for tools that would let them engage with their customers, their donors, wherever they might be.
So, we've done a lot of research and seen a lot of research over the course of the last 6 months that starts to aggregate where the really kind of the centers of gravity are going to be for demand of small business. So if I can, let me get your reaction to some of the things and from your perspective, what do you think is going to happen with it from the perspective of Constant Contact? So number one, explosion of e-commerce offerings for small business. Thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. So, the way we think about it, there's a spectrum of small businesses on e-commerce, right? And we want to help customers, small businesses, wherever they might be on that spectrum. So there's the folks who might not have been online before and now are realizing they need to get online. We have, as I mentioned to you, our online store capability to help those folks sell online for the first time, right? If they already have a store, our email marketing tool integrates with some other, great names in the industry, Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, so that's all integrated in with the emails you're sending. So you can do cart abandoned emails, or even in some cases, drag and drop products from those online stores into your emails. To some more advanced functionality that we're working on right now to really help those power e-commerce merchants who are really getting into marketing automation and some really smart, AI-based triggers to sell their products off their store. So we're working across that whole spectrum. As I said, whether you're just starting off or whether you're an established e-commerce merchant and have some great capabilities that are already live and some coming soon.
Second observation, that small businesses are challenged to create an online or a digital customer experience, their interactions with their customers, that frankly has to rise to the level of what Amazon does. That consumers are not giving them a break and saying, well, look, it's just this business here locally. It's like consumers expect to see, I want to see, when you ship it, I want to see photographs every step of the way of shipping it.
Yeah.
I want to see, embedded ratings and reviews with every one of your products, that kind of thing. What's your perspective on that?
Yeah, so small businesses definitely have to follow their customers, right? And it's tough when you have some of these really big box expectations. Without going into too much detail, because it's not all available yet, that's exactly something we're trying to help our small businesses customers get up to fighting strength, with the Amazons and with some of the other big box folks out in the world. One of the things we've done to help some of these small businesses, we have a company that our parent company Endurance has acquired called Ecom Dash, which helps small businesses actually manage what they're selling across multiple marketplaces, right? So if you're a retailer, you have your own store, you might be selling on, or you might not yet be selling, but we make it a lot easier to help you sell on Amazon or Etsy or on Walmart or on numerous other online marketplaces where you can manage all that from one place, and solving some of those challenges around, well, hey, if I sell an item on Walmart, my Amazon store might not know about that, and I don't want to oversell on Amazon because then I'll get my hand slapped by Amazon, right? So we're trying to help small businesses participate in all those marketplaces so they get some of the benefits too of that increased traffic to some of these bigger stores in addition to their own site.
Okay, another observation, that small businesses they're not marketers, and generally they don't really think a lot about writing a marketing message. They speak it probably every day in the course of doing business with their customers. Sometimes they don't even know that they're delivering a fantastic marketing message as they're just standing at the counter. But there's a thought that maybe artificial intelligence can in some ways help small businesses better articulate, better time, better direct the kind of messaging that is representative of their business, of course, but that is to their customers. Do you see that really taking shape?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mentioned Ecom Dash, which is an exciting company that, our parent company Endurance has acquired. There's another company called Retention Science, which Endurance has also acquired, which has some of that really cool AI-powered capabilities, right? Where I won't go into all the details of it, but one of the capabilities we're looking at there is just for simple subject lines, right? So with Retention Science, you can seed it with a little bit of what you think your subject line will be. Then it uses its AI to recommend back to you different subject lines. Then what's also very, very cool is that you can test a number of different subject lines in those emails, and then the AI under the hood will pick the right subject lines for the right recipients. So just one piece of what that AI-powered automation could be in that particular instance for Retention Science.
So segueing into your 25-year-old company, close to a 25-year-old company at this point.
Yeah.
Amazing. Are there things that as an active leader in the Constant Contact organization, are there things or qualities that you see about the enterprise, about your enterprise, that you would point to and say, yeah, that is actually what makes us really special? Not necessarily directed at your customers, at your small business customers, but as part as some people describe it, it's part of our DNA. Part of our DNA is to always think this particular way. What's the DNA of Constant Contact?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've been at Constant Contact now for more than 8 years. And it's my answer why I've been there for more than 8 years, and I think answer why a lot of the folks I work with, love Constant Contact. We genuinely love the mission of helping small businesses, right? It's small businesses, nonprofits. They're that favorite place you go to on a Friday night. They're the vendor I hope you're buying from, during the pandemic. If you're not going through Amazon or some of the other big boxes, or if you are, hopefully it's being fulfilled by a small business. And so I think our secret sauce at Constant Contact is that love is pervasive, whether you're talking to customers on the phone on our marketing advisor team, or you're creating product and writing code, or if you're on the marketing team like myself, or even if you're on the finance team, right? Everyone has that deep appreciation for small businesses and what they mean for our local communities and what they mean for our economy as a whole, which, it's kept me sticking around, and I just love the mission that we have overall. And I think that's a sentiment carried by all at Constant Contact.
That's cool. Now, as the last 6 months have really taken shape, are there things as a marketer that you look at that you were doing before the pandemic that you look on now and go, wow, that just doesn't have a place in the new world order? Or are there things opposite that you look at and go, wow, now more than ever, I really got to double down on this?
Yeah. So I think the good news is, because we've been so oriented to helping our small business customers succeed online, a lot of what we were doing is very pertinent to the situation right now. So there's not a whole lot that we've cut off that list. Things that I'd say have become even more meaningful in the past several months is, our customers, again, goes back to a bit of our DNA. We like working closely with our customers, being their marketing advisor, being their smart choice for how they succeed online, because marketing is not all that our customers are thinking about, to your point. And that live help has become that much more important as folks have struggled with, well, what do I do in this situation? We've really tried to get a lot of good coaching and advice out there. When the pandemic first hit, we launched our online support kit, which had a number of different verticalized guides for small businesses on, well, here's how you think about what's going on in the pandemic, and your doors might be closed. Here's how you think about, can you be in business online or not? How do you replicate some of that in-person interaction online, right? A lot of these things that have now become, we've gotten used to over the first couple of months, but as you know, and as all of our BEST2SMB peers know, our small business customers didn't really know what to do when this first started, right? And everybody was scrambling. Some still are scrambling, right? So it's an ongoing thing. So I'd say getting that know-how out there with our marketing advisors, getting our know-how out there with relevant guides and information, help small businesses power through, or what we're calling power on. Now that we've been a bit into this, sharing some success stories to give our small business base some inspiration for how others have succeeded in this. So we're just did a small business story with a local cupcake shop here in Massachusetts on how they've brought, as many other businesses have, everything is now online. They're, figuring out everything online with their cupcake shop, which is really inspirational. And so there's the advice and marketing help that we're giving folks, but then really accelerating the other thing I mentioned, helping small businesses sell online, right? So if you're that first time seller, now you have a tool from Constant Contact, which we've included now in all of our email and email plus plans, our website builder, our logo maker, our online store. We just gave that to all of our customers to help them out through this. To some of the more advanced capabilities I mentioned we're working through, that if you're really looking to succeed online, we have the right set of tools for them as well.
So I'm curious if the advisors have noticed, or you've kind of noticed in your content, a higher demand for really prescriptive advice, not the generalized advice of you should use social media, but really the prescriptive advice of here are the precise steps you need to take to set up a Facebook change. Are you noticing an increased demand for the latter versus the former?
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely been acute, but to be totally honest, we started seeing that well before the pandemic, right? That probably over the past maybe 12 to 24 months, folks really getting past I know about email and social media. I'm a realtor. Help me sell more houses. Help me find more buyers, right? Or I'm opening a consulting shop. Help me find my next client. Help me keep my existing client base engaged so I get the next contract from them, right? And so we've been working to get deeper on those specific use cases for our customers. That's quite a bit more deep than, well, hey, small businesses send email and do some social posting. That's definitely accelerated to your point during the pandemic, but we started seeing some glimpses of that before that.
So let me ask you a question that I hope as a Hall of Famer, our Hall of Fame nominee, that you will find easy to answer. Some, I guess I'll give the illustration. The guys at ShipStation realize that to their customers, it's not about being the shipping solution. It's about being the promise to a customer fulfilled. And it's the promise that's far more important than the shipping functionality. That's really what the small businesses are looking for. If you had to describe, it's not the email, it's not the e-commerce even, it's not the new stuff. What is it that you guys do that really is that ingredient that clearly small customers count on you for and are so passionate and loyal about?
Yes. I think there's probably two different vectors at Constant Contact. So, a great many of folks, when they first come to us, they might not even, as much as we're known for email marketing and some of these tools, many folks don't really know what they're looking for, what they want. But what's central to the small business is they're looking to grow their business, right? Or they're looking to stabilize their business. They want to make sure those customers are keeping coming to the door. And so that's really the business that we look to be in for our customers, is to help them meet whatever goals they have as far as what they want their customers to look like, right? Whether that's literally a customer walking in the door of your shop, or that's a donor for your nonprofit or a volunteer for your nonprofit, that they are keeping that base engaged, walking through the door. If they're selling something, that they're buying from them. The other vector, I'd say, if it's not growing their business, it's keeping that audience engaged and active. And spreading the message, right? So if you're, a local church who's looking to get the message out or get your sermon out every week, Constant Contact's a great tool for those folks. They're not selling something you're paying dollars for, but they're selling a message out there, right? And so we're helping those folks get the message out and to reach their audience.
That's terrific. So last question, and I think it's an unfair question in some ways for all of us, but how bullish are you on the future of small business?
Yeah, I'm bullish. I mean, I love small business. I'm excited for small business. It is a scary patch that we're going through, which is no surprise to folks. I think it's really propelling what was already happening in a transition to more online business, more of a forcing function for many on figuring out how to do that. So I'm very bullish on small business. It's not to say that it's going to be easy or that getting through this transition is easy, but I mean, look, these small business owners and the small business teams that work with them are some of the most resilient, innovative folks out there, right? The folks that have the bravery to, in many cases, turn down or walk away from that corporate job or never go into that corporate job and, you know, do something that they really love or something they think they are really good at and giving a shot on their own. Like, all the complexities of doing that is pretty complicated, right? And so it won't be easy, but I believe in this community to power on through it.
That's great. Mike, thank you very much. You represented well. I knew you would. And thanks for telling the Constant Contact story. Congratulations again. We'll be making our announcements on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. And Raymond Ray will be our MC. And he is a very dynamic MC.
Oh, yeah, I know Raymond. Yep, absolutely.
It'll be a good time will be had by all.
Great.
Again, congrats a lot. Share it with the team. Well deserved on my behalf. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the nomination. I mean, we're just honored to be recognized by B2SMB, so we really, really appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. All right, talk to you later.
All right, thank you.